Hey, welcome back to part 2 of our 2019 fall Paiute Trail trip. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, I will put a link to that up in the top right-hand corner. You can go watch it and come back. Or I'll just put a link to it at the end of this video. You can go check it out. But on this trip, we had some old friends that come down from eastern Washington. If you remember, part 1, we had the old buzzard and his wife, Dan and Judy. And Anthony all came down from eastern Washington to hang out with us. Good. And you may remember the old buzzard from our Mackay, Idaho trip a few months ago. Anyway, they made the long trek down to hang out with us on the Paiute Trail for a few days.
Perfect. Straight through. You're good.
We headed off out of Marysville on the 02, heading east until we hit the 24. Then we took the 24 over to Monroe. I mean, not quite into town, just before Monroe Trail 65 turns off. And that leads us to right here. This is the lower 50-inch gate of Trail 65. And this is where our adventure for the day starts. It's right here. Now this is the upper 50-inch gate of Trail 65 where it meets Trail 78. This gate is tight. It's one of the tightest here. Okay. We all managed to squeak through it. Dan kind of rubbed his tires a little bit pretty much all the way through. But Anthony's just a hair narrower than Dan, and I'm just a hair narrower than Anthony. But we all made it through. We are turning right on Trail 78 and heading south. And just a few miles down on 78 is this little turnoff that heads up to Monroe Peak. I highly recommend that if you are in the area to take this quick little jog. It's 2.5, maybe 3 miles to the top up to Monroe Peak. It's totally worth it. The views up on top of Monroe Peak are pretty dang amazing. I mean, it's almost a 360-degree view up there, and you are high. I mean, 11, maybe even 12. I don't know how many thousand feet, but it's up there, and there's some really great views. So we were in the area and I had to make sure these guys see it, so we drug them up here to the top to check it out. So back down to the 78, and if you're following along, we turned left on Trail 44 and headed east until we hit right here Trail 89 and took Trail 89 south all the way down through to the lower gate. Now this is what I would call the upper section of Trail 89. It's just above where it crosses the 01. It's a tight, there are bridges that are 50 inches, but there's no real gate. But I would say this is still a 50-inch trail. But here you cross the 01, continuing on Trail 89, and this is when you come across your first 50-inch gate on Trail 89. Again, they're tight. We all squeak through, but they're pretty tight gates, pretty tight bridges. Yeah, this is the actual marked, gated, fenced, whatever you want to call it, 50-inch section of Trail 89. So we came out of Trail 89 where we rejoined the 01, turned left on the 01, headed south until we hit Trail 02, turned right on the 02, and pretty much took the 02 back into Marysville. I just want to thank you all for watching. Be on the lookout for part 3. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like what you see. And if this kind of stuff interests you, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button down on the lower right hand corner if this is your thing, and if you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Again, let's say like the video if you like it. We'll see you guys in the next one. I really appreciate you watching this one. We'll see you next time.